Hello, and welcome to another Yoga with Adriann White at the Community Arts Center. Thank you so much for joining us. We're glad to have you. Today, we are going to do a shorter yoga practice, about 20 minutes, where if you're pressed for time, instead of having to spend some time with opening relaxation at the beginning, closing relaxation at the end, we're just going to get right into the heart of some of our yoga practices. This particular session, we are going to focus on doing Warriors 1, 2, and 3, and some of the benefits that we get from those poses. Like every yoga practice, let's start with just a few moments to return to our slow, full breaths. So whether you want to close your eyes or leave them open, just focus on breathing in through the nose to fill the lungs fully. And then breathe out through the nose or the mouth to empty the lungs completely. Slowing our breath really helps cut back on our body's feelings of stress. Helps to dial down our body's production of stress hormones. Helps to increase the production of our feel-good hormones like serotonin. Helps to reduce our heart rate. Helps to lower our blood pressure. So just slowing the breath to give yourself all the air that you need on the inhale. And then releasing it all on the exhale is something that we can do anywhere, at any time, and is always a great way to start off our yoga practice. Since our warrior poses are going to be doing a lot of work with the legs and some side body movements, let's start by stretching our legs straight out in front of us, seen from the side. We want to sit with our good posture where tailbone points down, where we stack our hips, our shoulders, and our ears. And can we flex our feet? Meaning pointing our toes up to the ceiling as we bend at the ankles. From here, if you don't use a yoga strap, you can hold the backs of the thighs. And remember, when we bend, our bodies bend at our joints. So we gently bend forward at the thighs, perhaps thinking of reaching our navel to the floor between our legs, keeping that nice long straight line of the spine as we roll our shoulders back, as we keep our neck straight, as we keep our chest open, and as we do our forward bend gradually and gently. Notice the gentle lengthening that happens in the calves, the backs of the knees, the hamstrings, and the glutes. We'll inhale to come on up. And after stretching the back of the body, let's strengthen it a bit with reverse table so that feet are hip width apart. Hands are behind the hips, fingers point to you. This is unsafe for the wrist and elbows should we lose our balance. This is much safer. So now push with those legs and feet, creating some strength in the hamstrings and the glutes. Pushing with the arms to stretch the front of the chest and the shoulders. And breathe as we try to create a nice straight line from our knees to our shoulders. If it feels good to you, you can rest your chin to your chest. You can hold your neck in a fairly straight line. Or you do have the option of letting the head hang back. And then let's exhale and gently come on back down. Since we just strengthened the abdominal muscles, since we just stretched the abdominals, let's strengthen them a bit by doing boat pose. We can start an easy boat by holding the legs, having our ankles in line with our knees. If we want to work abdominals a little harder, hands can rest to the mat in front of or behind us to help support us. If we want to work the abdominals even harder, arms can rest by the sides or extend from the shoulders. And for those of you that want maximum strength in abdominals and quadriceps, we can extend through the legs. Again, let's put it back and down. We'll stretch and lengthen the front of the body again with our reverse table. We're lengthening from the shoulders down the torso, little lengthening in the abdomen and the tops of the thighs. Lots of strength in the underside of the thighs and the buttocks. And then let's exhale and come all the way back down. Again, extending the legs, flexing the feet, and one more time, hinging at the hips. If you want, pull against the thighs if you don't have a strap. And as we do our seated forward bend, can we maintain the openness in the front of the chest and the shoulders? Can we maintain the length in the back of the neck and all the way down the spine, creating length in lower back and glutes, in backs of thighs and knees and calves. From here, we'll inhale to come on up. And now, however it works for you, let's come to stand. If you want the challenge of trying to come off the floor without using your hands, so that we're working leg strength, the way to do that would be to sit to the side and maybe come up to the knees, and then blurring one leg up and then the other. Okay, we'll start with Warrior One, where we stand to the head of our mat in mountain pose, which is our perfect posture. Tailbone points down, crown of the head reaches up, and we are stacking our ankles, our hips, our shoulders, and our ears, balancing our body. We can inhale, arms forward and up to our extended mountain, trying to bring our elbows back in line with our ears without hunching the shoulders up. Let them stay relaxed. For our first Warrior One, we can take our weight to our left foot, and as the left knee bends, slide that right foot straight back, maybe 30 inches, and then gently turn the right heel in and down about an inch. Notice we're trying to center our hips between our ankles, and my front left knee is bent to be directly above the ankle, so that I'm not stretching through the knee by going beyond the ankle, directly above, and also pointing directly out over the second and third toes so that I'm keeping my knee safe. Now, there are lots of variations that we can do to make our Warrior One even more exciting. We can inhale to our goalpost arms, having our elbows open as wide as our shoulders for a little chest opener. We can exhale to bring those elbows together, again keeping them shoulder high, to now open up in points of shoulders and between the shoulder blades. Let's do that 3 more times, breathing in, undoing our tendency to slouch our shoulders forward, and breathing out to release any tension that may be hiding in our upper back. How about 2 more times, breathing in and out. Let's keep our tailbone pointed down to the ground, and we do that with a little strength in our right glute. And then from here, we can inhale the arms up. If you'd like, think of your arms pulling you through the air as we step up to the head of our mat again, in mountain pose, and perhaps observe what difference you feel between left and right legs and feet, hips, glutes, lower back. The 2 sides work differently. How different do they feel? When you're ready, we can inhale, arms forward and up to our extended mountain. This time, if we put our weight to our right foot, it's the right knee that bends as the left foot slides back and heel turns in about an inch and down. Again, making sure that our knee stacks above the ankle and points over second and third toe. Stacking our hips, our shoulders, and our ears. Notice I'm not arching my lower back like this. Instead, I'm pulling belly button in, and I'm squeezing the glutes so that tailbone points down. And I have a nice long line from my fingertips, crown of my head, and tailbone. Now, a challenge that we can add to Warrior One is we can challenge our balance. Normally, we would do our goalpost arms and elbows together on left side, just like we did right. For the sake of having an abbreviated session, you do both sides at home. For our video today, our second option in Warrior 2 is to inhale, raising that left heel up, creating a little challenge to our balance, some strength in the calf, some stretch in the arch of the foot. And then exhale and slowly lower it back down. Let's do that 3 more times. Breathing in as we pull the heel up. Breathing out as we slowly press it back down. Noticing how as we continue, we're alternating stretch in the shin with strength in the calf, and then reversing to put strength in the shin muscles as we lengthen the calf. How about 1 more time? Inhaling and exhaling, using the strength that we are creating in our feet to help us maintain our balance. On the breath out, we'll gently bring ourselves forward to the head of the mat, and we return to our mountain pose. Okay, another very common pose in Warrior is Warrior 2, where our Warrior 1 with the leg back created focusing on length in the back of the leg. Our Warrior 2 will focus on strength in the tops of the thighs. 2 ways to come into Warrior 2. One is to stand sideways on the mat, seeing if we can open our feet so much wider than our shoulders that we can look to the side, seeing our feet beyond our shoulders. And then from here, we can turn our feet. Let's pivot on the left heel to turn left foot to the left. And now gently lift right heel up, swinging right heel slightly to the right. That's for the safety of this knee. Both feet point in the same direction. And then as we bend the knee again, we are stacking our left knee over our ankle. Our Warrior 2 is arms extending shoulder high. Now, since this is a warrior pose, let's not have wimpy arms. Let's reach. Warriors are strong and they're active. So we are actively reaching our fingertips to the opposite walls. And in the process, we can notice the stretch that gives us in the front of the chest and across the fronts of our shoulders. Now, we also want to make sure that in Warrior 2, again, we are not arching our lower back. So once more, I'm engaging the abdominals to pull my belly button towards my backbone. And then behind me, I'm gently squeezing the glutes together to keep the tailbone down. In addition to strengthening the glutes, now I'm adding a little inner hip, inner thigh stretch. For balance, we can challenge our balance by inhaling to turn to look past the fingers of the bent leg. And then exhale to sweep our gaze across the room and to the fingers extending beyond the back leg. So we can inhale, sweeping our gaze to one direction, and exhale, sweeping our gaze to another, noticing how much our leg muscles work to help us keep our balance. We'll do a total of 4 sets, breathing into one direction, breathing out to the other. Let's do our last set. And we'll come back to center. As we relax the arms down to come out of Warrior 2, we can straighten the knee and turn our feet forward. So that's one way we can come into or out of Warrior 2. Another way is to start at the head of the mat. And I'll start at this end. And very similar to what we did in Warrior 1, we can inhale to our extended mountain. As I take my weight to my left foot, my left knee will bend. I'm going to reach right arm and right leg back, letting my torso turn, and then making whatever adjustments you need to make to have that nice wide expanse of the feet. Now stacking left knee over the ankle, it's my left leg, and then creating some stretch in inner hip and thigh. Now, an option to help stabilize balance is push a little energy down the outside of that right leg, pressing the whole little toe edge of your right foot into the mat. Again, I'm pointing my tailbone down by pulling my belly button in, by gently squeezing my glutes. Now we can add some stretch and turning through our body. We can start with the breath in. As we exhale, turn through the hips and the waist and the torso to face out over our bent leg. And then inhale to sweep back open. So again, notice we're moving at the hips, changing the groin stretch, affecting our balance, turning through the waist, creating stretch in lower back, and then inhaling to open. Again, we are matching movement with the slow flow of our breath. As the right arm comes forward, feel the stretch where our right arm meets the body and into the shoulder blade. Inhale to gently come back open. And let's do one more time. Again, exhaling to come forward. And inhaling to open. And then to come out of it, I like to think of my right arm sweeping down and forward to help sweep my right leg up. So I would start with the breath in, and on the exhale, the breath out, the arm, the leg, the abdomen, pull me back up to center. As I mentioned earlier in Warrior One, for symmetry, what we would do to one side, we should do to the other. So I would also then do my Warrior Two with the turns this way as well. The last warrior that we're going to do today is Warrior Three. While Warrior One and Two had both feet to the ground, Warrior Three is a balance pose, and we're going to stand on one leg, hopefully. Okay? Please be welcome at home to go to stand where you can rest your hand against a wall, or have a chair or a table or something handy if you would like to have something to reach out and hold on to. Let me tell you, holding on will not in any way diminish any of the benefit of the pose. All it does is reduce the fear of falling or the risk of getting hurt. Okay? In Warrior Three, there are several positions that we can do with the arms. For beginners or folks that are a little uncomfortable with balance, the easiest variation of Warrior Three is to start with the arms out to the sides, like the wings of an airplane. This is our letter T pose. And if I'm in mountain pose, I'm simply inhaling to bring my arms up shoulder high. Here's where I could be touching a wall or holding onto a chair. Now for balance in Warrior Three, we'll take our weight to our left foot. I like to think of touching my right toes behind me and then create a long straight line in my mind from the crown of my head back my body to that heel. The supporting left knee is to be soft. Please don't lock the knee backwards. Let the knee joint have a little give to it so that if you have any wobble in the leg, it stops at the knee rather than traveling up the body to the hip. Now in Warrior Three, it's helpful to put your weight back on the heel of your supporting foot, and then we're not going to drop the chest forward and try to kick the leg up, because that makes us feel like we're going to fall face first. We're going to start at the back, and just like a seesaw, as the lower end comes up, then the upper end comes forward and down. I'm keeping my raised heel flexed, meaning I'm bending at the ankle. I am pushing that raised heel back to help counteract the fact that my torso and my head weigh more than my leg does, which is also why I have more of my weight on my supporting left heel. Now those that would like have the option to bring the arms back by the sides. Fingertips are energetically reaching back, again to counteract the extra weight. Another option is to sweep the arms out in front of the head. This is more challenging because as we reach the arms forward, our center of gravity is forward. When you're ready to come up, think of inhaling, hands or crown of the head up to the ceiling. And exhale, and bring the arms out and down. Now, we'll do our Warrior Three to the other foot. So this time my weight goes to my right foot. Again, I can start with arms down by my sides. Since my weight is to right foot, it's back to the heel. The right knee is soft. I'm touching left toe back. Again, I'm lifting the heel up, and as I push the heel back and raise it, that's what has me bending at my right hip. Okay. Now, some schools of yoga recommend looking to the wall in front of you. Because of neck issues that I've had from an automobile accident, my neck is more comfortable if I look down to the ground rather than lift my head to look forward. But you do have that option. You can bring the arms out shoulder high, holding on to any furniture or wall that you wish to have. Again, you can bring the arms forward. Hands can be shoulder width apart. Some schools of yoga suggest lace the fingers together, and as the heel pushes back, reach your extended index fingers forward for more balance. Again, notice how my supporting knee is soft. There's a little bend in it. And then inhale, come on back up. And on the exhale, just relax down. And notice, what differences do you feel between left and right legs? And after doing Warrior 1, Warrior 2, and Warrior 3, we've created length, we've created strength in the calves, in the thighs, and we've done some stretching for the hip flexor muscles, and we've done a lot of work with balance. So I'd like to thank you very much. We'll do one final pose to add a little more stretch here since we did use those quadricep muscles so strong. So can we come to sitting on the mat without using our hands? Maybe we want to bring one knee down on the top of the foot. Maybe we want to bring the other knee down. And then as we start to sit back to our heels, can we roll to one side? Stretch the legs out. Today we'll do Warrior 3. We'll do bridge pose. So as we let ourselves lie back to the mat, feet are about hip width apart, arms are by our sides. Since Warrior 2 built a lot of strength in these quadriceps, now we use the strength in the hamstrings to lift the hips up, to gently lift the navel up. I can push with the backs of my arms. In fact, we can walk our arms in underneath us a little more to maybe hold the opposite wrist or lace the fingers. And now as we push with the feet and the arms, we're creating width across the shoulders and the back of the body. Across the front of the body. We're creating length down the front of the torso and through the belly and all the way out the tops of the thighs to the knees. The counter pose, the balance of strength in the tops of the thighs with some length. The counter pose, the balance to length in the backs of the thighs with some strength. When you're ready, we can walk the arms out, the shoulders back out. We can gently roll back down. And then if you carefully roll one side, protecting your lower back by using hands and arms to bring you back up to sit. And today, that concludes our yoga video, Yoga with Adriann White at the Community Arts Center in Johnstown. Please be welcome to join us. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock and Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. To join our sessions, please give us a call at 814-255-6515. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.